How's it going, everybody? GodBaer here. Once again, thank you for clicking into one of my videos. We are back on our Madden 18 online league. We are the 2-0 Baltimore Ravens going up against the 0-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm happy with how we've started. I'm happy with the rookies that we drafted, how they've been performing. Chuck Clark continues to do his thing as he wins Defensive Player of the Week with 3 interceptions and 1 for a defensive touchdown as Alexander Tuduzzi, the man that I told you guys about us picking up from the New York Jets practice squad. And the stats I'm showing you guys right now is from the rage quit I got from the Buccaneers user. He ended up quitting our game when I was up 30-3 or something like that in like the second quarter, and he of course rage quit like I said and then left the league. So I got a force win, and this is the stats that I got. Definitely would have preferred to keep the stats that I had in the original game from playing against the actual Buccaneers. But regardless, Tuduzzi got an interception on his first game with the team, and then Jonte Banks had 3 receiving touchdowns, which I don't think I would have been able to do if I were to actually play the game. So that's fine, as long as some of my rookies, of course, build up their experience and play well, as none of my players on Player of the Weeks with that force win. But this week, with an actual game, we're going up against another division team, just like last week when we played against the Cleveland Browns. This time, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he has Jay Ajayi as his running back, and then he's testing us. And I don't know how he catches that one over my linebacker. For those of you that have been following the series, that man is Sean Bradshaw. He is 6'5" with 88 speed. And that tight end caught it over me. We kind of got a weird animation. But regardless, we got the ball back. We held them, and they stalled out, punted us the ball. And now we got these wide receivers. Kendall Wright catching a drag route, picking up 15 yards, getting us near the red zone, and Tevin Coleman is going to get us to that territory down at the 17-yard line. 3rd and 10, definitely wanting to come away with some points. We're going to scramble and get this first down. Very happy about that. And then our I-form toss play, getting into the end zone, Tevin Coleman, no surprise there. And now back out on offense for these Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely going to try to make the team one-dimensional. I try to lock down on the run game early, get a lead, and then force my opponent to pass the ball, which is exactly what he's doing with Dobbs here. He's playing him over Ben Roethlisberger, of course, a younger, very talented quarterback in Madden, and he's looking for something, and unfortunately for him, that one goes directly at us with Sean Bradshaw. The quarterback ends up making the tackle for it, so a little bit of justification for, I guess, retaliating from throwing an interception, but Tevin Coleman trying to get us back inside that red zone, trying to just dot my opponent up, get people open in the spaces, hurdling with Jasecki, our tight end, and no surprise, back to the I-form toss, get us into the end zone for Tevin Coleman's 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And now we're up 2 possessions. My opponent's going to go at us deep with Antonio Brown, who comes down with that ball. Did not like seeing that, but we're going to go ahead and send somebody after him. Nice spin move. You're lucky you're not fumbling, but he does come away with a field goal to get some sort of points on the board just to prevent a blowout. Tevin Coleman is always going to do his thing, and I'm happy he missed that tackle because it allowed us to get 5 to 10 extra yards. And now right here, throwing it deep to Jonte Banks, giving us that extra element that we did not have in Season 1. We got that burner to take the top off the defense, and we go up 21-3. We're giving up these down the middle passes that usually I don't give up, but I'm just trying to keep a lock on these out routes and these corner posts that he's running on us. So we're gonna try to maintain this scrambling. Luckily, he's not that accurate, have that good a throw on the run, so he cannot put it on the money. And right here, of course, those middle routes that I just continue to give him. Usually I don't give those up, but we are out here for that wide receiver sweep. Take out your legs and hold you to another field goal. And we have a minute left in this first half to try to get whenever we can. Have that be another field goal just to solidify this victory, or a touchdown, busting off a nice run. We are going to have to hold on to that timeout. You see we got 17 seconds left, throwing this one down to Washington. We're going to get out of bounds after picking up a a first down. And now with 8 seconds left, we're going to get a rushing touchdown, but there was a holding penalty to negate it. So we will come away with a field goal and still go up 24-6 and get the ball to open up the second half. Would have been awesome if we would have gotten that touchdown, as we get a first right there, but get our legs taken out of our own running back. 2nd and 10, taking a sack. Gotta get better with my reads, like I've been telling you guys. I have good plays, just not too familiar with what I should be looking at first and where my projections should be on where I should be looking once something isn't open. And right now he's testing us once again. Doozy, would have been nice if you would have been able to get your hands on that interception and actually secure that pass. But regardless, he is not going to get this first down. He will punt us the ball away instead of going for it. And we are looking for something. Once again, this time just everything locked up. We are going to take off with our man Mason Rudolph. He's got that 78 speed, so he is capable of scrambling. And now Tevin Coleman, you ain't tackling me. You somehow are not putting your hands on me. So we're going to bust off a 67-yard rushing touchdown instead of a 20-yard gain. Definitely should have been tackled, but regardless, we're breaking up passes. We got that touchdown. Coming out here dressed to pad some stats at this point. We are finally going to send somebody after the quarterback. Aaron throw, tight end cut down as the quarterback threw it upwards. And now Tevin Coleman, we're definitely going to try to utilize him more in the passing game, because season 1, surprised that I didn't really use him too much. We workhorsed him and ran the ball 360 something times for 3,100 yards and 37 rushing touchdowns, which is just unheard of. I don't think anybody will break that record, as we take a hard hit with that sack. We had a holding penalty prior, which ended up giving us a 3rd and 27 as Matthew Judon gets a safety sack. Very happy with that. Continue to try to run the ball with Tevin Coleman. He's always going to be the workload, as Jonte Banks, we saw he was on TJ Watt right there, a linebacker, and then everybody else ain't fast enough to take him down as he gets his 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. Both of them just taking off the tops. And speaking of beaten deep, that man right there, have no idea who number 81 is, but he beat the safeties and he got down into the end zone, as right now the man that wanted a little bit of revenge because he got torched by Jonte Banks got an interception. TJ Watt probably shouldn't have thrown that one, but we did, so we can't take it back. And now he's going at us deep once again, and I don't know what really happened right there. Didn't get an animation to go swat it, and then his wide receiver kind of awkwardly spun around to Doozy, as Chuck Clark on this 2-point conversion is going to pick it off and take it back to our end zone for those extra 2 points. The game is probably already wrapped up at this point, but if we can come away with another touchdown or field goal on this drive as we are nearing that 4th quarter, I am pretty darn sure we have this game solidified, as Tevin Coleman making sure he's out on those flat routes, just because the Steelers have been blitzing us, which is another reason why Jonte Banks has been doing so well, and now bouncing off our own blocker sets us up perfectly to get a humongous hole and ultimately into the end zone. And now he's continuously trying to hit us with these out routes. Wide receiver that got the touchdown, number 81, is doing a good job about breaking tackles, but ultimately we got this pressure. Right there was Pierce, our defensive tackle. 3rd and 18, looking to lock everything up. He's just going to chuck it up, and then Alexander Doozy, back-to-back interceptions for this man. It was his debut last week with the force sim, and he had an interception. Would have been nice if the Bucks, I didn't tell you guys, in the Bucks game, Doozy actually had 4 interceptions, and one of them he took back for a defensive touchdown. So that is one of the reasons why I would have loved to have those stats, but we're going to continuously try to find ways to give Jonte Banks the ball on offense, as well as Tevin Coleman. That man is a 98 overall, and I am so happy he is not the only threat on this offense. He's one of the threats, which is nice to say. In Season 1, Tevin Coleman was the one and only threat, as Washington just inside juked 3 defenders, getting himself into the end zone. And I don't know if I've ever juked that many people at one time, as he throws into quadruple coverage. 3rd and 9, he's testing Sean Bradshaw, and you are not throwing over that 6'5 frame. And now Tevin Coleman gets to come back out here, pad some stats. We're ultimately going to try to put up some more touchdowns because, like I said, It's stat padding. We want to get some extra experience. We should have threw the X right there on the seam because he came down at us. Again, triangle was open, but we're bad at read, so we're going to kick this field goal after taking back-to-back sacks. Go up 59-19. He's rolling out. We're going to send our man Correa. He's going to get the sack. And then 2nd and 18. Once again, we got Correa out there, so we're going to click in the right stick, get back-to-back sacks with that man. 3rd and 26. Pretty darn sure you were not going to get this one. Luckily, you don't take a safety. Would have been nice to get another interception with Shad Bradshaw, but Marlon Humphreys decided to come down here and stonehand the pass and take it away from him as Jonte Banks nearly getting another touchdown, but that free safety did a good job about coming down and hitting Jonte Banks to halt his momentum as Mason Rudolph 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tevin Coleman 268 yards with 4 rushing touchdowns, and then receiving Jonte Banks 5 receptions, 161 yards with 2 touchdowns. Very happy with this team and our first balanced offensive performance in the entire league. That is correct. You're not mishearing me. All of season 1, I don't think we passed a single time for 200 yards. And if we did pass for 200 yards, it's probably because one of the few games Tevin Coleman was held for under 100 yards. So I'm happy that we finally have this balanced performance, hoping that we can continue it throughout this season. I feel like we have a great chance to do so just because the free agents that we got, have that be Josh Gordon, Kendall Wright, TJ Jones, Bruce Ellington, the addition of Jonte Banks, and just this lockdown defense. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time everybody, GodBaer out.